Good morning. It is about 6:30ish, and we're here for early access. We're so excited. I didn't even sleep.
Yeah. He thinks she's joking.
So we're here at Universal Studios Hollywood. It's our first time visiting the theme park, and we decided to do Super Nintendo World's Early Access Hour. It's an extra fee on top of the theme park tickets, and you get 1 hour before the park even opens.
I definitely think this was worth it. It was still crowded as we went through the park to get there, but you kind of have a little more time to take pictures at the warp pipe at the entrance, especially if it's your first time going. I think it's worth it.
So with the early access, you can get on the ride early, you can do some of the activities, and you can get into Toadstool Cafe without a reservation. Normally you need to get a reservation or even a virtual queue to get into the park, but because with the extra fee, you get to do all this stuff before the huge crowds come in.
There's no guarantee that you'll get into those. Like if everyone decides to go to the cafe, just know that there's no reservations when you get in there. It's all just by queue. So if you really want to get onto the Mario Kart ride, you want to get in queue for that. Or if you want to prioritize the cafe, you want to get in queue for that. Or if you want to prioritize the different
like mini games.
So it definitely gives you time with less people in there, so you can get at least two of those three things done.
One tip that we suggest doing is if you're there a day before, getting your power-up band before you get in the park, because lots of people, they'll get into Nintendo World and will go straight to the buying the power-up bands, but if you already have that, you can skip that whole process and just get on the ride or into the restaurant or into the mini games. So that is something, if you're not in, like, if you don't live in the LA area or go to the park a lot, get your power-up band a day before. Yeah, on the Universal app with your power-up band, you'll collect coins and collect stickers, and then they have like a ranking throughout the day.
Yeah, when we went, we got on the ride pretty quickly, and then we got into the cafe.
The ride did break down, so we weren't able to ride it multiple times.
And I don't think you would either. There was a pretty long queue. If you wanted to go on it multiple times, you definitely wouldn't be able to get into the cafe or do any of the events. I think it really, it's an extra hour, and within that time limit, you can either do the ride in the cafe, the ride in the events, or the cafe and the events. But by the time we were done with the ride, the lines for the events were pretty long, so we went to that cafe. And then by the time we were done at the cafe, and sure, we got a lot of things to eat, but there were already really long lines for all the mini games and activities. You still can go around and enjoy the world. There's different places and hidden characters to find.
Yeah, when you go upstairs, you'll see in the video there'll be overlooks where you can see the entire land like from up above, and they have little like binoculars where it's sort of like a VR, so you'll see
like AR, so there's like a digital overlay, so you'll look through, because they're those usual binoculars that you would have at like any big tourist destination like the Empire State Building or the Grand Canyon. But then when you look through them, you'll have little Mario characters in there, and they'll be overlaid over the land, and there'll be other enemies and stuff and characters running around in the land, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. I enjoyed the Mario Kart ride. It's not the best ride I've ever been on. It's kind of like your typical Universal ride where it's more augmented reality and you're in a vehicle and it kind of moves around. Like, it's still cool. If you're a fan of Mario Kart, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I wish it moved more.
it's not a fast ride, so I think it's pretty good, I guess. But it's nice that it interacts with your power-up bands, and it's tracked, and you get more stamps or badges or stickers, I can't remember what they call them, on your power-up band.
In the app.
In the app. And you can track that based on what you did in the game and in the ride, and also with all the mini games and the world that you're in. That part's cool. That immersion is very cool. That interactivity is very cool. But the ride itself isn't very intense. It's calm and tame. I think the ride was fine. I don't think it was anything special, but I'm glad I went on it once. I don't know if I would wait the kind of crazy times we saw.
So this ride didn't give me motion sickness, and sometimes like the Universal rides do, but it was fine. I think because it wasn't super fast. You know, like Transformers like gets intense, but like this one wasn't intense.
Well, it's pretty unique. It's not like a 3D ride like Transformers or even Simpsons. Kind of an AR overlay with 3D elements, but I think it's really well done, and it's not super motiony and motion sickness inducing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the land is really nicely themed. All the mushrooms and all the theming of the land is really cool. The interaction with the power-up bands is cool. Being able to find the hidden characters and make them light up, and the interactions with that stuff, and collecting the stamps and getting coins from the question blocks. It's all very cool. I think it's pretty immersive, and just everything that's going on. We didn't get a chance to do really any of the mini games. They were just so busy and the lines were so long, and we just kind of really wanted to enjoy the world. But the sounds are awesome. You hear all the sounds from the video games if you're fans of the video games. The music is really great, and yeah, it's just really immersive and nice. It's very well done.
Yeah, I think since we're both Nintendo fans, it was a really cool experience to kind of just step into the game that we're so used to playing, and it was just fun being able to like go into the question block and feel like Mario and like hear the like coin sound. It's very childlike, but still fun. I can't wait to go to Universal Orlando to see theirs because they're adding the Donkey Kong Land part.
And they have the Yoshi ride.
Yeah.
Or will have the Yoshi ride.
Yeah. Because I don't think Hollywood is expanding like Japan or Orlando.
What did you think of the merch?
I thought the merch was cool. I bought the little
ears.
Boo ears. And
Headband.
Boo headband. I got a little Spa-Mom keychain to put on my backpack. We got some magnets, which were fun.
We got a popcorn bucket.
And the Superstar popcorn bucket, which was awesome.
Might be the coolest popcorn bucket.
It was well worth the $40, and you do get free refills throughout the day. It's not like the Disney ones where you don't get free refills.
And they put the original popcorn in a bag that you buy it with, so
you don't have to clean it.
You don't have to clean it, and you don't even have to eat the popcorn right away if you don't want to. Yeah,
which is super helpful because sometimes it's just like so much popcorn and then it goes stale. But yeah, it was worth it.
I think they did. It was unusually good, the merchandising they had there. I feel like Mario and the power-ups really lend themselves towards merchandising. I hope they do a lot more with the power-ups and popcorn buckets, because I think we'd probably buy all of them. The star popcorn bucket lights up and is really cool, especially at night when you see people walking around.
They were out of one of the power-up mushroom sippers, so we didn't want to get one without the other. And then they were out of the power-up ears, which I was planning on getting too. Yeah. So some stuff was out of stock, but we did go like less than a month after it opened, so early March, so it might just have been where like the overlap. I was satisfied with my purchases. We did go back later that night because we had the express pass. We were able to get in again to the park just to get an idea of what it's like during the actual day. And it was super busy. And the line for Mario Kart was like 3 hours long. So if you're not a person that likes to wait in lines, which who really does, I would just recommend spending maybe that. I think the prices vary, but when we went, it was about $25 extra per person. just to get into that land early and kind of experience it before more crowds go in, because like once you're in there, there's no time limit to like exit, so more people can kind of come in, but like once you leave, you can't go back in.
That's right.
In the end, I really enjoyed myself. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was a great experience, especially our first time at Universal Hollywood. There was a lot of excitement. Would I pay to do it again? Probably not. I think it's like a one-time thing.
I think if you're going to go to the park, you want to do this. If you're going to go to Super Nintendo World, you're going to want to do this. It was so busy when we went regularly. There was no way we were going to get into the cafe. There was no way we were going to go on the ride. So if you want to go to the cafe and you want to go on the ride, you're going to want to pay for this extra early access hour.
Okay.
If it's 30 or less, then yeah, definitely. I definitely think it's worth it. Just because you can enjoy the land. It's not just packed full of people. I think it's worth it. And as a whole, I think Super Nintendo World is worth checking out. It's cool. It's unique. It's very cartoony. It's really well themed. And it's really interesting seeing how interactive it is and how it works with the power-up bands. I think if you're going to do it, definitely get a power-up band. It's a whole different component and aspect of being in this park, having that interaction with it. And I don't think it would be nearly as good if you didn't have a power-up band. So definitely, how much are the power-up bands?
I think they're like $40, which is like kind of pricey. But if you're like a Disney person, you know those magic bands are like 35 plus.
Yeah.
So, but like, yeah, it gives you a whole new experience with the power-up bands, and you can keep reusing them over and over again.
Yeah.
And I think you can use them in Japan and when it comes to Orlando.
Yeah, and it has the app, and it's like a game. And so if you're ever a fan of any of the Nintendo...
Oh, I remembered that if you have a Switch and you put your power-up band on your Switch, it acts as an amiibo. So if you have an actual Mario Kart game and you scan like your Yoshi power-up band, you'll get the Yoshi outfit in your Mario Kart game.
Yeah.
So like normally amiibos are like what, $15?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get the cute little figurine, but you at least get that little like costume to play in the game, which is fun.
Yeah.
Except if you get Daisy, you won't get anything. So that kind
Well,
of
I'm
sucks.
sure you get stuff in other games.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, and if you want to know when our next videos are coming up, be sure to hit that notification bell.
Don't forget to subscribe.
And
thanks for watching.